We're living in the final part of the last days, undoubtedly the final part of the final part of the last days.
This is the end of the world. This is the end of the world.
Hello there, and welcome to season 4 of the Last Days Livestream, the show that helps us all navigate the last days, the days preceding the Great Tribulation, which of course heralds Armageddon and the end of the world. So yeah, we might as well document that in a way that brings a bit of levity and humor, and that's what this live stream hopes to do. I wasn't really planning on doing a live stream, hence the very low minimalist production values. So, but I would like to jump on because it's New Year. Happy New Year to all of you. And I guess it's a good time to just kind of take stock, isn't it? And just see where we're all up to. So I just thought, let's create a little space, like a group huddle here in this little quiet corner of YouTube or Instagram, if you're watching on Instagram, or Facebook. Let's just do a little group huddle, shall we? And just take stock. And yeah, if you want like a narrative to this show, some kind of storyline, it's that I will be eating this chocolate Santa, suspiciously shaped, might I add. Once you take the foil off, really does not look like Santa Claus. Oh God, I only just realized that. Anyway, so that's to come, me eating a phallic piece of chocolate. Bill Power Max 2264 says, Lloyd, hail. Thank you so much, Billy. Wen says, Happy New Year, Lloyd. Greetings from Mexico. Hey there. Nice to have you join. Darius Roberts says, welcome back. Happy New Year. Thank you so much, Darius. Good to be back. It's good to be alive, isn't it? We're still going, damn it. We will not be defeated. Billy also says, last days of the Bad Moon launching in 2 weeks on Fund My Comic. That, I'm going to be honest, Billy, I'm blanking on that one. But great, that's fantastic. Let's see. MMHCA 357 says Happy New Year. Happy New Year, MMHCA 357. Love the catchy name. Jesus is my rock. There's a bold statement. 1978, year before I was born. So you're 1 year older than me, I'm guessing. Happy New Year, my friend. Happy New Year to you too. And good choice of rock, I guess. If you're going to choose a rock, let it be a Messiah. Darius says, I like the shirt, bro. Thank you. This is one of my louder t-shirts for when I'm feeling particularly bold. And yeah, why not? Happy New Year. We survived 2025. We certainly did. Delia Freeman 146 says, Lloyd, you look great. Good to see you. Thank you so much, Delia. I don't know. I feel good, actually. I feel good. I'm doing a dry January, 4 days in, and I must say it's feels really good. Yeah, it's my body feels cleansed. So let's keep that going. That's something that Tony Morris will never understand, probably. So yeah, I still haven't managed to get the foil off the Still haven't managed to get the foil off this chocolate Santa. Let's just be clear that it's Santa. It's nothing naughty, nothing rude. Behave yourselves. Come on. Vernon Salvatierra 1124 says, question. Lloyd, do you miss living in the UK? Yes. Yes, I do. I do miss living in the UK. I took a trip back to the UK in September. That was actually one of the most, you know what, I'm going to use scissors to just nip the tip of my chocolate Santa. Oh God, hold it together, Lloyd. This looks painful. It's painful, but it's effective. I think we've breached the outer layer. I'm going in. There we go. I'm peeling back the cover on my chocolate Santa. Oh, come on, Lloyd. Be an adult. Be grown up about this. There we go. Okay. Oh, it's falling apart. Damn it. There's the. It looks less like a penis now, so you can get that out of the way. I will come back to your question, Ben, and it's a really, really good one. I was really getting into that story, but now I've got a mouthful of chocolate. So I don't know what to do. And I've made a mess, to be quite honest. Chocolate Santa imploded all over my desk. And I am a bit of a clean freak. So the idea of slowly melting chocolate freaks me out. Fortunately, I have wipes to hand. Sorry, viewers, not what I had in mind for bringing back the Last Days Livestream, an imploding piece of phallic-shaped chocolate. You've got to start somewhere. I'm just going to say it. Have I got every last crumb of this melting thing off my surface? Yes. Give it a bit of a wipe. Vernon. I was in the UK in September. I went back to my hometown, which was a very emotional experience because it was the first time I went back there in about 15 years or thereabouts. And it was immediately obvious to me that I really could do with living there again. You know what? I miss how effortless it is to communicate, which is something I still struggle with here in Croatia due to the language barrier and my complete ineptitude when it comes to learning other languages. I love how in England, particularly my part of England, because I think there is genuinely like a northern warmth, and you see that if you spend time, say, in London versus in Manchester or in other parts of the north. There's just this warmth. Ian McKellen mentioned it once in an interview. He said, when you get off the train in Piccadilly and you get in a taxi, the taxi driver says, "Where are you going to, love?" And he says, "You have grown men calling each other love." And he says, "Wouldn't it be wonderful if everybody called total strangers love?" What a great way to address someone. And it's true. Everyone calls each other love, darling, sweet. "You're right, darling. You're right, sweet. Have you got everything you need, sweet?" That's what the cleaning lady said to me in my hotel. "You've got everything you need, sweet." I just love that. And it just flows. And I love how I fall into conversations, whether I want them or not, when I'm walking through the streets of my hometown. You know, people just start them with me for whatever reason. just walking through the supermarket, people will be asking me to reach for things for them, and not that that doesn't happen in other places, but it just feels more natural to integrate, I think, with my community when I'm in the UK. Very long-winded answer, probably way more information than you need, Vernon. But it's good filler material. It takes us to over the 10-minute mark in the live stream. And I'm already about 50% through Chocolate Santa. Now looking less, a bit more Donald Trump. Sorry. Trump's fantastic, as you all know. Golden Fern says, that's no accident if you look at what an obelisk means. Now I've got to remember what I was saying in the conversation. Oh, wow. Okay, thank you so much, Raven. You've sent through a huge super chat. Eating Santa chocolate. Thank you so much. That really does mean a lot. Great boost to the channel, punching through to 2026. Thank you so much, Raven. And Raven, you've really been supporting me and the channel over the years. It doesn't go unnoticed. I remember names, and it really does mean a lot. So thank you. And now I need to back up a little bit in the comments. So it's Happy New Year, year 51 in paradise. I guess that means you're 51, does it? I'm not 51. Maybe I'll make it to 51. Who knows? You sound good. Thank you. I mean, I'm glad you can hear me. I've had problems streaming in the past with glitches. I hope it's not going to glitch this time. I hate that. I hate it when that's honestly one of the things that puts me off doing live streams, quite honestly, is that you need a really solid internet connection. And like, I can even hear now my MacBook's getting a bit overheated. It's a little bit old, bless it. It's kind of my workhorse, does everything. And I've always got way too many tabs open. So right now it's kind of my asthmatic friend, I can hear it, the fan whirring. And it's like, what are you doing to me? So if the live stream slows down, it's because I've, again, put minimal effort into this production. But I'm just, easing myself in. What can I say? Cheers to Tony, wherever he is. Says MMHCA 357. Billy says, I'm dry as well, but because of medical reasons. Good for you. I mean, honestly, I'm okay. Am I going to reveal that much about my medical? I have medical reasons too. I'll just say it. But it's one of those things where you kind of, you weigh the pros and cons, and you think, no, actually, I think if I'm going to start doing something for medical reasons, January 1st is a good time to start. Doing surgery on Santa, yes. This definitely wasn't an enlargement. This was a reduction, very much. And I already feel like I'm chocolated out because I actually don't eat that much sugar nowadays. It's not like I have a sugar-free diet or anything. I avoid it as much as I can. And therefore, whenever I do eat even a little bit of chocolate or something that's very sugary, it almost makes me, bleh. It's a great point to get to because it means that you eat less of the stuff, which is, I guess, better for your health. Yeah, I don't know what's going to become of Chocolate Santa. I think I'm just going to put him in. I think I'm just going to put him in my fridge on the top shelf. And if I do feel an urge to just have something sweet, to get my mouth into something sweet. I'll reach for the stub. Poor Santa. He met a very grisly demise. Jesus is my rock, 1978, says, it's funny because much like yourself, I was brought up as a witness, but I stopped believing in what they preached at round about 15 years of age. My mother wasn't particularly happy with my decision. I can't imagine she would be, to be honest. Jesus is my rock. Yeah, look, you need to believe whatever gets you through the week. That's what I honestly have concluded in my 46 spins around the sun. Darius says, question, I have also been greatly encouraged by the Stop the Shunning channel. You have similar approaches. Are you familiar with their work? Would you ever do an interview with them? I Stop the Shunning, I'm pretty sure, has been on the live stream. I'm pretty sure he's been on the live stream already. I think that ship has sailed already. So yeah, we're mates. I'm pretty. If it's the same one I'm thinking of, yeah. Unless I'm completely mistaken. But when it comes to, here's the thing with interviews. I've stopped doing them, really. I don't really do interviews anymore. And it's purely because, how can I put this? I guess I don't want to overcomplicate my life. It's already quite triggering to dip into a source of trauma in order to create content. Bear in mind, I've been doing this now. Well, my first YouTube video went up in 2013. So we're on year 12, or it's like 13 years of YouTubing. And it takes its toll, to be honest. It takes its toll. I'm not saying I'll never do an interview again. I like the idea of doing an interview again, and maybe I'll even start doing them again this year. Who knows? But I guess I stopped doing them because I want to take care of myself a bit more and shield myself a little bit. I'm a little bit more distrustful now of other people who get out of cults. I'm just going to say it because I think that that experience can produce people who are nice, and it can also produce people who are frankly not nice. And that's certainly true with the ex-Jehovah's Witness community. And I'm sure there are loads of really interesting people out there to talk to. I mean, I've talked to I don't know how many exactly. Maybe it's dozens, maybe it's over 100, I don't know. And they've all been lovely. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I need to think more about that. I need to think more about interviews. Or do I? When is enough enough, I guess, is a good question. We'll see. We'll see. Philip Randazzo 3799 says, the governing body sends their greetings and appreciation. Philip, you are lying to me. How dare you? I don't think that they do appreciate me, and I certainly don't think they appreciate me eating half of a chocolate Santa. Billy says the governing body says we can go to college now. Let's enroll and party. Yeah, go for it. Self-betterment is what it's all about. Scrolling, trying to skip. Getting off the train in Liverpool is like another planet. They have left-wing local newspapers, mind blown. Liverpool is Labour. Liverpool's very Labour. Manchester, is Manchester left-wing? Or I think Manchester kind of, well, the mayor's Labour, Andy Burnham. The mayor of Manchester's Labour. I think Manchester's maybe a bit more right-leaning than Liverpool, but I think the North in general tends to be more left-leaning. I'm personally quite left-leaning. Maybe you've noticed, but I don't really like to identify myself too much. I have quite specific ideas, and I think that there's a great deal of nuance in politics that often gets overlooked. And I actually think that the whole binary system of left-right, Labour Conservative, Democrat Republican, I actually think that's quite damaging. It's kind of a black and white way of doing things, isn't it? It's like one or the other. Oh, wow, I'm amazed by this range of options you're giving me. I go left or I go right. Wow, you know. I hope that in the future politics will be a little bit more sophisticated than this or that, is essentially what it all boils down to. And if you vote for anything in the middle or like the other, the third or fourth or fifth option, it's basically throwing your vote away, isn't it? You know, let's be honest. So yeah, I kind of don't like that about politics. Don't think anyone really does. Maybe the fanatics do. Nice to see you wishing each other the best for 2026. You see, we're doing a group huddle here. We're just bringing it in a little bit for the beginning of the year. Hello and Happy New Year, says King of the Dots. Hello, self-proclaimed, might I add, King of the Dots. Did the Dots elect you? Did you wage a war and invade the Dots and they were forced to recognize your sovereignty? How did that work? You need to walk us through how you became the undisputed monarch of the Dots. Yeah, Santa, bless him, he is not looking great. Question, Lloyd, can you live in Zagreb with just speaking English? Vernon, you're hitting me with all sorts of very good questions about my life right now, which I appreciate, and it shows that you care. Thank you. The simple answer is mostly. I think mostly covers it. You can mostly live in Zagreb with just speaking English, because most people do speak English in Croatia in general, not just Zagreb. So I think it's something crazy like 80% of the population speaks Croatian. It's quite rare for me to run into someone who doesn't know any English. Usually you'll meet someone and they'll say, oh, I'm sorry, my English is really, really poor. And then they'll proceed to have a perfectly fine conversation with you in English, having apologized for how poor their English is. And I'm thinking, I'm the one in your country, you know. There are, however, just a small number of situations. I've had one recently when I was renewing my health insurance, where you can actually find yourself being shamed for not knowing the language yet. They kind of resent it. And I kind of chuckle to myself, because on the one hand, I kind of understand Croatians, particularly government officials and what have you, looking down on me and thinking, oh, typical English guy, and who does he think he is? And you live in our country, you speak our language, or you should speak our language. I understand all of that, but things are, again, a little bit more nuanced in my mind. Like, I'm here for a specific reason, which is that my children are here. That's it. That's it. If not for them, I'd be gone. I'd be back in England. I'd quite happily go home to England. So not that they ever say go home, by the way. But so I don't really, I understand why people might take it personally and might feel offended that I don't speak their language, but it's just tough, I guess. I can just speak English, so I do just speak English, and that's just who I am, and it's enough for me. Sorry, Croatia. Let's scroll down. Everybody hugs Raventree. Yeah, Raventree dropped a massive donation before. Let's see it again. No, we can't. So yeah, that's very much appreciated. Thank you. After 20 years fading, I finally had the best Christmas ever. Good for you, King of the Dots. Good, you know, again, self-proclaimed ruler of the dots. I'm going to be honest. I ended up having a really good Christmas, and I think my last video was wishing you all a Merry Christmas and just reminding you that Christmas can sod off, in my opinion, because I hate it so much. And weirdly, after making that video, I proceeded to have a really, really good Christmas. So maybe that's the secret, just to hate it and be willing to be surprised, I guess. And so my Christmas was really good. I can't find a single fault. I nearly ran aground at one point because Jessica had a performance for her school, and I live an hour away from where the performance would be, and I had a very busy work day scheduled with meetings, and I had to say to Jessica, I'm sorry, sweetheart, I don't think I'm going to make it. And I thought that she was okay with it, but I found out she wasn't. So I thought, you know, what am I doing? What am I doing? What could be more important than being there for Jessica when she sings for her school on a stage in the middle of her town? And what could be more important than being there for her? So I switched things around. I contacted, well, that's it. I thought it would knock out 2 meetings, but it ended up knocking out 1. And that was only because I drove the 1 hour there, and I was there for like maybe 20, 30 minutes in total, waiting for Jessica to go on stage. And then as soon as she came off stage, in the car again, driving back, and then next meeting, you know, that was how it was. But I'm so glad that I did that. It was a privilege, honestly, because Jessica sang Silent Night, Tiha Noc, in perfect Croatian, and being there to see her do that, singing basically a religious song at Christmas as an XJW. That was amazing. It was like vicariously, you know, I was living through her, and she sang it beautifully. She was the only one in the time that I was there, at least. So I was there for like 20, 30 minutes. And the whole time I was there, she was the only school child who got a lead, who got like a solo singing part. So she sang it all by herself and had the rest of the school back her up on the choruses, and absolutely slayed it. Absolutely knocked it out of the park. And you could see she was beaming that she said, now you're here. Before she went up on the stage, she said, now you're here, Daddy. That's 90% of my nerves gone. That's it. She said 70%. So I said, oh, only 70%. So she said, no, 90%. So I feel like that was like the turning point for me. And it seems so obvious in hindsight. Like, why would that even be an issue? Of course, you cancel your work to go and watch that. But it was a good decision, and it ended up reframing, I guess, the Christmas for me in general. So I'm really happy about that. No, it means 51 years since 1975. A crazy person just clarifying that he, she, or they, I'm assuming it's a he, don't want to get anything wrong, it's not 51. Here's the thing, I don't keep account. Am I supposed to? I don't keep account, but yeah, you've got me there. Well done. 1975 plus 51 equals 2026. Thank you for correcting my math there, Peter. Coming to crazy person's aid there. Another question. Are you really talking about end times today? I only just caught the end of your intro today. I mean, look, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek, but if you really want to talk end times, I am here for an end times discussion. Let's get down to brass tacks. I mean, where are we coming from this? Where are we coming at this from? Yeah, hit me with your end times related comment or question. I don't actually think these are the end times, and I don't think Armageddon is a thing. But I think the joke, the running joke of the show is that, oh, it's still the last days somehow. The last days are going on for so long that we're able to now do multiple seasons of the Last Days live stream, because it turns out that the last days is actually last year's, at least. Yeah, it's kind of like just a running joke. But if you do want to kind of get all serious on me and profound, then yes, hit me with it. I'm ready. I'm ready. The Juan 72 says, Lloyd, waiting anxiously for this month broadcasting. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we are kind of in the blackout phase that happens when JW Broadcasting switches to doing the annual meeting and the Gilead thing. So I'm not sure there is a JW Broadcasting for January. Maybe there will be, and maybe I'll cover it. I was actually thinking about that earlier today, about what I'm going to do videos-wise in January, because I'm trying to kind of switch gear a little bit and do things more manageably, and I have a big thing coming up, a big thing that I'm going to announce in a few days that I'm very excited about. And so that's going to take the majority of my concentration for this month. So a really exciting project that I'm really pumped about. I'm not going to tell you what it is. One or two people know, but I'm not going to go public about it. That's going to be my focus. And I was even thinking, would I even be able to revisit was it October and November JW Broadcasting episodes? And I don't think I can, actually. I wanted to, but I think maybe I need to let those go, let those slide. I mean, you tell me, did I miss anything huge that happened in recent JW Broadcasting episodes? Maybe. I haven't checked. Honestly, I only watch one of those things when I know when I'm in the process of prepping my rebuttal. So I literally just have not watched them. And I don't know, did anyone notice anything huge? I think if nothing greatly significant happened, then I should just maybe start with what happens this year. If anything, I'm sure things will happen this year. There's going to be new light about something at some point. It's like a every few weeks thing nowadays, isn't it? So yeah, I haven't fully decided, but I think I'm writing off all of the remaining JW broadcasts from last year, in terms of rebuttals, and we'll see. We'll see how I approach what's to come. But I'm still here, and I still have things to say, and I just don't want to overcommit, because the project that I'm working on, that I have yet to announce, is going to take a lot of energy from me, and I need to balance things, Oh, this looks interesting. Ben Hall, who has some association with a rodent based on Ben's avatar. Ben says, was at a party in London last week and talked to this very clever goth lady. Aren't they all? Aren't they all? Goth ladies are just the source of knowledge, aren't they? Who had faded out of the Jehovah's Witnesses. She seemed impressed with my insider knowledge gained entirely from your channel. Wow, that's good. I mean, I think that it's really touching that you have not been a Jehovah's Witness. It sounds like never been involved, but you care enough to gain this knowledge, to watch this content, and you care about, I'm assuming, the plight of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses and what we're up against. So yeah, I'm glad that I've managed to explain things for you in a way that's stuck. I think that's kind of the goal or objective of anyone who kind of positions themselves in like any kind of educational context, which I guess I have done. I mean, my content is trying to inform people. So if I've succeeded to the point where someone who's never been in Jehovah's Witnesses is able to hold their own in a conversation with an ex-JW, then mission accomplished. I'll take that all day long. Kabodlong says, hi Lloyd, I'm an apostate now, been watching your videos for quite a while now from the Philippines. Thank you so much, Kabodlong, and lovely to have my content appreciated all the way over in the Philippines, which is a long way from where I am. And, it kind of, I try not to think too much about how incredible it is in the modern age that you're able to say something in one part of the world and someone on the exact opposite end of the planet or side of the planet is able to watch you in what is considered to me, from my perspective, to be very exotic locations. It's incredible. So thank you so much. Snoop Dogg champagne was on sale for less than €4. I'm living in the stuff. Says King of the Dots, in what I've decided is the comment of this. I'm awarding this the best comment of the live stream. It makes zero sense to me. I didn't know that there was such a thing. I didn't know there could be such a thing as Snoop Dogg champagne. Hopefully it's not like P. Diddy champagne. Yeah, there's a brand that you don't want to have on your champagne. Wow, what would Snoop Dogg champagne taste like, I guess? Is that like some cultural reference that I'm just too old and out of the loop to recognize, or does Snoop Dogg actually have a brand of champagne? Isn't that interesting? Now my mind's drifting to the conversation between Snoop Dogg's people and the Champagne people. Snoop Dogg triangles, all different kinds, and yeah, this is the one I'm going with. Okay, well, I'm glad that you got it for a bargain. Booze for €4. Who can complain? Although I'm not drinking booze at the moment. King of the Dots says, I get prayers answered. Do you have a request? Yes, I want to know why Snoop Dogg has a brand of champagne. That's my request. King of the Dots, say one for that poor Santa Lloyd decapitated and stuck in the fridge. He's not in the fridge yet, bless him. And the cold climate would suit him, wouldn't it? I mean, right there, it's an incriminating shape, isn't it? That's incriminating. I don't think they were even trying to make this look like Santa. Were they? I mean, try harder, Milka. How is that? Oh, yeah, that's a human form, you know. Oh. Apologies if you're a young viewer watching this. Didn't mean for it to go in that direction. I genuinely didn't even think when I grabbed it how oddly it's shaped. Darius says, I appreciated the answer to my question. Appreciate you and excited for this year. Thank you so much, Darius. Happy to answer questions within reason. Within reason. Oh, I like this one. Tam Hart, this 2254 says, will you ever do the on the street interviews again? They were very interesting. I guess. Oh, right. Okay. So I did. I did obviously the talking to cart witnesses who were preaching by the carts. I did that, didn't I? And I did the ones where I was asking people to challenge my atheism on the streets. I did that. That didn't land. I didn't get good views for that series. That was back in the Tibor era. And honestly, that's kind of what would stop me from doing it as of like right now, is that I don't have a cameraman. Or if I did that series, or if I did anything kind of run and gun kind of out on the street, I would really need to just hire someone, I guess. I don't expect anyone to do that sort of work for free, because it's honestly quite time consuming and labor intensive to be on the street with a massive tripod. And we had the lavalier microphones and you name it, or wireless. Still got them, obviously, but they're a pain in the neck to operate, especially if you're kind of a bit of a numpty like me who doesn't really know their way around technical stuff. I'm looking right now at my camera. I took it to an open mic last night, and I don't want to spoil what I sang, but me and Jessica sang a song, and it's sort of appropriate. So I'm thinking about uploading it to the channel. So that's why I have the camera here. But even just doing that was challenging for me, because these things. This is a good camera. It's got so many buttons. There's a surplus of buttons on this thing, and yeah, I do need help really, or I just need to bury my head in a technical manual for a few weeks, which I guess I'm not willing to do. So I hope that answers your question, Tam Hearts. The answer is I would like to do run and gun stuff on the street again with Jehovah's Witnesses. Hopefully I'll do it at some point. It just won't be immediately. RX4952 Says, hello, I am from Cuba, living for 10 years in Tampa, Florida. 1 year since my family wake up, struggling a little bit. Thanks for your content. I hear you. I hear you. I'm sorry that you're struggling. I've been struggling too. Right now I'm feeling pretty positive, but you're not alone. You're not alone, especially this time of year. It's tough. It's tough. And you've, I'm sure, been through quite a lot as a family, waking up over the past year. So lots to adjust to. And I hope my content's helpful for you, but just watching videos isn't going to fix things. So you're right to, be frustrated at the way things are. And when we were in the cult, it was easy. We could just outsource all of our problems to Jehovah and say, hey, I'm going to say a prayer to Jehovah, and Jehovah's going to wave his hands and fix things for me. And then when you're out, guess what? They become your problems, and you've got to deal with reality yourself. And it's harder. And the weird thing is, sometimes you just end up less happy because you need to do more thinking. For me, more thinking equals less happiness. Yeah, it's a tough one, but what I will say on the subject of mental health, which I've obviously been delving into a bit of late, is that statistically speaking, even if things are bad for you right now, statistically speaking, at some point or other, they're going to get good again. I mean, we all know how it works. It's like a roller coaster, isn't it? You have your downs, but it's like the old saying, what goes up must come down, and also conversely, what goes down must go up. And it just can't keep going down, 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 down forever. It may feel like that way sometimes, but the law of averages dictates that inevitably at some point, no matter how bad things are for you, something positive is going to happen. It may not be mind-blowing or earth-shattering or life-changing, but something positive is going to happen at some point if you tough it out. And I think we all know that, but it's hard to maybe remember that or draw comfort from it when you're in the thick of it. So just know that we understand, and we're here with you. I'm actually, you know what, King of the Dots, I'm withdrawing the best comment award from you. This one is the best comment, because that's kind of why I wanted to do the live stream, is to tackle a comment like this one, where we can just encourage each other and be there for each other. And we're all here for you, RX4952. Prop Culture says, keep up the good work, Lloyd. I have a very similar story to yours, including the bad. Makes me feel better knowing I am not the only one. Okay, thank you. And yeah, the bad sucks. In my story, it really, really sucks. And but it's kind of nice to stick the proverbial finger and carry on regardless, and not allow the bad to consume you. To just be able to say, hey, I'm still here, not killed me yet, I'm still punching, So yeah, thanks for the solidarity. Tam Hearts this says, Happy New Year to you and your family. Hope is a great one. Well said. Thank you so much. Is cannabis legal there? I'm not sure I know what you're talking about. Cannabis is very much illegal in Croatia. Isn't it interesting that in most countries, I say most, I think most countries cannabis is illegal. And yet in most countries, Croatia included, alcohol is very much legal. So that you walk into a supermarket and you're faced with aisle upon aisle of substances that are, and I'm not saying this now that I'm doing dry January, I'm sure at some point I'm going to be drinking alcohol again, but you're faced with aisle upon aisle of a substance that is literally poison for your body. It's literally poison. Alcohol does nothing positive for you biologically. You can argue that it has a pleasing effect, but you can argue that, but biologically we all recognize that alcohol is poison. They use it in a hospital setting for sterilizing, for killing things. That's what alcohol is used for in a medical setting, for killing things. Cannabis, not sold in supermarkets, illegal in most countries, is used in a medical setting, and it's used as a medicine. And guess, it messes with my mind. I think that I don't want to go on about this too much, but and I'm really not like a stoner. I went through a phase where I smoked a bit of weed. I'm not really in that phase now, to be honest. Every now and then someone will maybe offer me a drag and I'll be like, great, but it doesn't really do much for me. But I do think that the world, it kind of shows how religion has its finger in things. I think that religion has always felt threatened by any substance that can give you a high, that can be transformative for you or can elevate you, because religion wants the monopoly on that, and religion also knows that alcohol won't elevate you. It's just going to make you more susceptible, if anything, to what it has to offer. I mean, there's a reason why Alcoholics Anonymous is overwhelmingly a religious group. So yeah, there's my little rant about cannabis. Over. Slabette says, I must say, watching your daughter sing her solo was so beautiful. Thank you. I actually posted it on my Instagram. Don't know who here follows my Instagram. It's at Cedars JW. Hang on. Is it at Cedars JW Survey? Is it still using that old thing? Something like that. You'll find it if you want to follow me there. But yeah, she did an amazing job. Let's just scroll down. I'm being picky with which comments I take now, because we're on the home stretch. I wanted to do an hour, and there's like 6 or 7 minutes remaining. Jehovah's Witnesses are on the money that Christmas is fake, though. Doesn't take much digging to find that out, although their word pagan is a drop in the ocean. Yeah, I've spoken about this already, but I do think that, even a stopped clock can be right sometimes, and the Bible gets it right occasionally on things, and Jehovah's Witnesses have their moments as well. And much of what they say, I mean, they have again their own ulterior motives. Let's be clear, they have their own ulterior motives when it comes to cancelling Christmas. But a lot of the arguments that I used to make to my schoolmates that had been drilled into me by my parents against Christmas actually are valid. You know, it is very much a commercial holiday. It is very much about shifting cheap goods made mostly of plastic around and shops selling things. And honestly, the whole peace on earth, goodwill to all men thing, it's a great idea, but I think what we've all experienced at some point or other in December is people still being shitty to one another, you know, and it only makes it more offensive that they're doing that while simultaneously proclaiming that they celebrate Christmas. They're still being assholes. Assholes continue to be assholes, even during December, even during Christmas. So, yeah, I'm a proud Grinch. But guess what? I still showed up for my kids over Christmas. I was there for when they unwrapped their presents. We all watched The Grinch together, and I was saying, yeah, I agree with him completely. The Illumination animated film, not the Jim Carrey one, although the Jim Carrey one is good. I'm a proud Grinch, but I have all the time in the world for those who do love Christmas, because I think some people get out of Jehovah's Witnesses and hate Christmas, like me. And some people get out of Jehovah's Witnesses and they go nuts. They go completely bonkers for Christmas, and they go overboard almost with the lights and the tree. And it's almost like their way of protesting the limitations that were forced on them by their parents and by the religion. And I just, again, same as with religion, it's just whatever makes you happy. You know, if Christmas makes you happy, despite all of the things I just said, fantastic. That's all I care about, is that people just enjoy themselves and live their lives in a way that doesn't make other people's lives bad or miserable. We are rounding in on the final couple of minutes. I'm going to quickly squeeze in. Is there like a final question I can really tuck into? A question: I want to know if you guys have heard of Satan's Little Season as a JW. I had never heard that Jesus' millennium may have actually passed. That's why we think he hasn't come back for 2000. I'm going to skip that one. I don't know. I've not heard of that. The witnesses, Greg says, the witnesses were giddy with excitement at the carts when I had a quick chat today, just as they were at the start of COVID and the countless other wars and incidents. They'll never learn. Oh, I can imagine they're all getting excited about Venezuela, aren't they? Probably. By the way, isn't it interesting that under certain circumstances, it's possible to just get rid of a ruthless dictator by bundling them into a helicopter? I didn't know that was even a thing. I didn't know that was like a diplomatic option on the table. Like, I didn't know that was, a possibility until recently. So I guess that's good news, because if you can get bundled into a helicopter for moving drugs around, surely you can get bundled into a helicopter for committing war crimes and genocide. Just saying. So let's keep our eyes on what's going to happen, because apparently that's the solution. But I accept that what's happening in Venezuela, I'm going to get loads of people saying it's not that simple, Venezuela, you know, and Venezuelans, I'm sure, are very excited about developments. And I can imagine I would be if I were living in that country, thinking finally there's a possibility that we can have a better life for ourselves. It's just that dealing with things in this particular way opens a whole can of worms and sets a very alarming precedent for the future of geopolitics, because it basically says that America gets to decide who runs which country, unless the country in question poses enough of a military threat to America that they can't just swoop in with a helicopter. That's essentially the lesson we take. I'm ending all political. Shouldn't go there. Raven says, your content on the Watchtower has helped me so much. I guess I should stay in my lane, shouldn't I? And Raven wasn't responding to that. But okay, we're going to get some clarity on the Snoop Dogg issue, which maybe that's an appropriate place to end, because I can't be the only one who thinks that that's a mystery that is worth digging into. And Sean Mihalik says Snoop Dogg actually has a brand of wine and champagne called 19 Crimes. It's widely available here in the US, at least. Can I just make it clear at this point that this channel is not sponsored or endorsed in any way, shape, or form by either Snoop Dogg or his champagne, but it is, let's just be clear, a thing. I'm glad we've clarified that. So yeah, I think that's a good place to end, isn't it? There's a nice one. Jazz says, listening from the California desert on a road trip. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I've been to the California desert. I know how achingly beautiful it is. And yeah, it's kind of, again, it messes with my head to think that I'm on a device somewhere in a vehicle that's moving at speed through that beautiful part of the world. So thank you very much. You've put a smile on my face at that thought. Santa, what's left of him? Sorry, Santa is is going in the fridge, and that's me done for the first episode of season 4 of the Last Days Livestream. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your comments, and I will see you next time. Happy New Year, everyone.